Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your. We Warriors fans know how much a big man was missed in the playoffs. An experienced center who is used to the playoffs will be ideal for next season, and one player who fits that profile is Nikola Vucevic of the Chicago Bulls. The Warriors executives need to be careful, because Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green are veterans and want to win a championship urgently. The Warriors are interested in Nikola Vucevic to solve the roster size problem. The Golden State Warriors have a big decision to make this offseason with Jonathan Kuminga. Some have suggested the team could sign and trade him. If that happens, several NBA teams would likely be interested in signing him. The Warriors need a center, and the Bulls have one, Nikola Vucevic. The Warriors need a center, and the Chicago Bulls have a winning center in Nikola Vucevic, whose shooting and passing would make him an easy choice on offense. Multiple players around the NBA will have a chance to get traded over the next few months. Some, more than others, and Nikola Vucevic of the Chicago Bulls is one of them. For a team like the Golden State Warriors, he could be the perfect option for them to pursue. Vucevic is a great rebounder and can stretch the floor. With the offense the Warriors run, there's reason to believe he could find plenty of success. Searching for a way for the Warriors to improve the roster, J.H. Kubicek of Athlon Sports predicted that the Warriors could add the two-time All-Star this offseason. He added that he only has 1 year left on his contract, and if the Warriors don't have to give up too much, it wouldn't impact their future. In an effort to add some extra rebounding and scoring down low, the Warriors are expected to add a win-now player this summer. Brook Lopez has been floated as a possible free agent target, although the Warriors could add a younger player. He only has 1 season left on his contract anyway, so as soon as the Warriors' title window closes, he will be gone and, in theory, the Warriors could hold on to draft capital in a trade, giving up only matching, younger salary pieces the Bulls could build around, he wrote. Vucevic has been in trade rumors multiple times over the past few years. The Bulls, however, haven't been willing to part ways with him yet. Perhaps that's because they haven't gotten the offer they want in return, but either way, he's still in Chicago. The expectation is for the Bulls to make a move this offseason. If that's Vucevic, it'd only make sense if the Warriors are interested. Warriors want Kuminga back, but contract decision is two-way street. San Francisco, after getting bounced from the NBA playoffs earlier in the week, the Warriors immediately changed direction and started making plans for the offseason. While maybe not the most important decision facing general manager Mike Dunleavy and coach Steve Kerr, a significant summer storyline is what to do with Jonathan Kuminga. The number 7 overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, Kuminga will be a restricted free agent in the offseason and is likely to garner some attention from rest of the league after a high-profile showing in Golden State's Western Conference Seminoles' loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. He has the freedom to sign with any of the 29 other NBA teams, although the Warriors have the option to match any offer to keep Kuminga. Dunleavy sounded optimistic about getting a new contract done but stopped shy of saying it's a done deal. "We will look at everything," Dunleavy said Friday at Chase Center. "It's hard to know 2 days after the season's over where it's all headed. I know where I see him as a player. I know how it can work with him here. I know how we can work with him better. But in terms of guessing how it's all going to play out or what the contract might look like, I'd be totally guessing at this point to conjecture on anything." Kuminga didn't have much of a presence his first 2 seasons in the NBA, and many around the league began to question his worth. That talk started changing last season when Kuminga became a regular starter and had career-high averages in scoring, 16.1, rebounds, 4.8, and shooting percentage, 52.9. The 2024-25 NBA season was more of a bittersweet campaign in a lot of ways. Kuminga averaged 15.3 points with 4.6 rebounds, and was much more aggressive attacking the rim and shooting behind the arc despite missing more than a month due to an ankle injury. He also had to adjust to the arrival of Jimmy Butler before the February 6 NBA trade deadline. That cut Kuminga's minutes and forced him to accept a backup role. The situation lingered most of the season, forcing Kerr to continually mix and match his lineups. Kerr envisions Kuminga playing more with Golden State's star players if he comes back. If JK comes back, we will, for sure, spend the early part of the season playing him with Jimmy, Draymond, Green, and Steph Curry. To me that would be a no-brainer, Kerr said. We did not have the luxury of just experimenting and giving that more of a runway. If JK comes back next year, we have to look at that for sure. Kuminga's up and down wavering stock soared in the playoffs after Curry limped out of Game 1 against the Timberwolves with a hamstring injury. Without Curry, the Warriors were desperate for scoring. Kuminga answered the call effectively, proving his value while averaging 20.8 points a night against the Wolves. Kuminga's postseason surge was a welcome sight, but it wasn't enough to prevent the Warriors from getting eliminated from the playoffs. With all that swirling in the background, the Warriors are staring at the possibility of seeing Kuminga's growth continue but in different jersey. I thought he had a really good year, Kerr said. He was really coming into his own before he got hurt. When he came back, he was not in rhythm. He was not the same player he was when he got hurt. That put kind of a little bit of an obstacle in our way as we're trying to get to the playoffs and advance in the playoffs. It felt like square peg, round hole for us. So we went away from JK as part of the rotation and he handled it really well. For him to stay ready, stay positive and then get his chance, played well in these last 4 games of the Minnesota series, speaks highly of JK and his approach. All in all, he's a guy who's got a lot of talent and ability. Still growing, still raw in many ways. Dunleavy would prefer that growth continue with Golden State, although reports surfaced early this week that the Warriors are actively seeking a sign-and trade. As far as bringing him back next season, I think it's something that we're very interested in doing, Dunleavy said. When I look at things that JK does well in terms of getting to the rim, finishing, getting fouled, these are things we greatly need. We know he can bring those things to the table. It's not hypothetical, it's not a guy in the draft that we think can do it. He's shown for 4 years he can do that, so for that reason we'll try to bring him back. It's a two-way street in terms of getting a new contract and all that. We'll see where that goes. Jonathan Kuminga shockingly turned down massive contract to stay with Warriors. This could prove to be a big mistake for both parties. As the Golden State Warriors enter their off-season following a disappointing second-round defeat, one of their most pressing issues, the return or departure of young forward Jonathan Kuminga, has taken center stage. In addition to all of the baggage related to Kuminga's tenure in Golden State, it has recently been revealed by Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report that Kuminga had already turned down a 5-year, $150 million contract prior to the start of this last season. Now, as the team attempts to retain one of their young, promising players while operating with limited cap space, this could signify a major issue, and perhaps a stunning roster change, for the retooling Warriors. Jonathan Kuminga wants more than market value, and it could catalyze a major trade. Kuminga, despite his serious athletic and offensive potential, has never seemed to fully materialize for Golden State. Although he is a serious scoring threat, averaging 26.5 points in games in which he played more than 30 minutes this season, he has never fully earned the trust of head coach Steve Kerr to play within the team's Steph Curry-led system. This issue came to a head this season, following the acquisition of Jimmy Butler, when Kuminga was benched for the Warriors' final, and most important, game of the regular season. However, his resurgence in the playoffs, in which he averaged 20.8 points and 27.4 minutes in 5 games against Minnesota, has reminded fans and the league alike of the room he has to grow and the impact he can have immediately. The Warriors' reported offer is in the range of other promising young players' extensions following the expiration of their rookie contracts. Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks and Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic, who were also first-round draft picks of their respective organizations, both signed near-identical deals. Yet, Kuminga evidently had confidence that this year would allow him to prove himself to be of even greater value than Suggs or Johnson, either to Golden State or to another organization. Following what transpired this season, it is highly unlikely that Kuminga receives such an offer from the Warriors again unless it is part of an agreed-upon sign-and trade with another organization. Since Kuminga is now a restricted free agent, Golden State is likely to do their best to prevent him from leaving for nothing. Such a trade could net the Warriors key rotation players that could shore up their weaknesses from this season. However, his evidently lofty demands could complicate him. Steve Kerr makes announcement on his future with the Golden State Warriors. As the Golden State Warriors wind down their season, they are starting to conduct exit interviews for the team on Friday. The Warriors lost in the second round of the 2025 NBA playoffs to the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games. It was a sad ending to the season as franchise star Stephen Curry wasn't able to play in their last 4 games due to a hamstring strain he sustained in Game 1 of the second round. This would lead to the Warriors losing 4 straight without Curry to conclude their season. Head coach Steve Kerr is one piece of the puzzle that the Warriors may try to figure out this offseason. He's heading into a contract that will be expiring at the end of next season. Steve Kerr speaks on his contract situation. Kerr has been with Golden State for 11 seasons, beginning his stint in 2014. He spoke on his future with the Warriors, and it seems that he's looking forward to the time he still has as head coach. At this point, I'm year to year. I love my job. It's so much fun. I know where my team is. I know where the organization is, so I'm perfectly comfortable just going year by year to this point, Kerr told the press on Friday. Steve Kerr has coached the Warriors to 4 NBA championships in 2015, 2017, 2018, and 2022. He's also led them to the NBA's single-season record for wins in 2015-16, finishing with a record of 73-9 and took home NBA Coach of the Year honors that season as well. It's safe to say that his presence in the organization has been nothing but good for Golden State. Kerr will return as the Warriors coach next season, but the two sides will need to discuss a potential extension if they hope to continue beyond that. 3 teams emerge as potential Jonathan Kuminga suitors. The Golden State Warriors were recently eliminated from the Western Conference semifinals at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Warriors faced some tough luck along the way this season. After defeating the Memphis Grizzlies in the play-in tournament, they made the NBA playoffs as the number 7 seed. But once faced against the Houston Rockets, Jimmy Butler suffered a tailbone injury that forced him to miss time. 3 teams emerge as Jonathan Kuminga suitors. Once head coach Steve Kerr was forced to go to his bench, he reinserted Jonathan Kuminga into the rotation to make up for Butler. Once Butler returned, however, Kuminga saw the court sparingly. But when Stephen Curry went down in Game 1 against the Timberwolves, Kuminga was once again called upon. After averaging 15.3 points per game in the regular season, Kuminga averaged 26.3 in the Western Conference semifinals. As a result, Kuminga likely boosted his value, reminding teams how tough he is to handle off the dribble and attacking the rim. According to insider Brett Siegel, the Brooklyn Nets, Chicago Bulls and Miami Heat are the teams that could be interested in Kuminga this summer. Kuminga's late resurgence was good for the Warriors off the court. While he'll likely drive more interest, he's a restricted free agent this summer. That would give the Warriors the chance to match any offer sheet for Kuminga and could induce a team to sign and trade for his services. Kuminga would likely be the Warriors' best chance at bolstering their existing roster around the core they have in place.